A very good morning to all the students of class 5. My name is Prerna and I'm your English teacher. And today, from your English book Skyline, we are going to read chapter number 3, which is a poem. Now, tell me when you're free, what is it that you like to do? Do you like to watch TV? Do you like to play games? Or do you like to, just sit and talk with your family or your friends? So I'm sure, when we are free, we like to do a lot of things. So I'll tell you about myself. So in my leisure time, I like reading books because I feel that books are a man's best friend. So I really like reading books, and if I talk about my favorite book, so I still like to read Noddy, and then I also like Treasures Island. Then the other favorite book that I have is The Secret. So and then there are others also. So all of you should develop a habit of reading books. So I'll tell you why you should do that. And in order to understand that, let us start reading this chapter number. So let us start reading this chapter number 3. So this is chapter number 3 of your book, which is a poem, and the title of the poem is My Books. So there's this little girl who's talking about the books that she's reading. So when she's reading a book, what are the thoughts that come to her? So she says, I love my books. They are the homes of queens and fairies, knights and gnomes. Each time I read, I make a call on some quaint person, large or small, who welcomes me with a hearty hand and leads me through his wonderland. Each book is like a city street along whose winding way I meet new friends and old who laugh and sing and take me off adventuring. So this little girl is saying that, whenever I'm reading a book, these are the various thoughts that I get. So she says that these books, first of all, she says that she loves her books, and she says that these books are the homes of queens and fairies. So obviously she likes to read a lot of books which are which is, let's say, a fairy tale or a book which has a king and a queen in it. And then in the books, there are also some knights and gnomes. So knights refers to the soldiers who, of course, are there to protect a particular region, and gnomes refer to those little people who are assumed to protect the treasure of the earth. And then she says, each time I read, I make a call on some quaint person, large or small. So she says that every time I read, it seems to me that I have met a quaint person. Quaint means someone who's very strange. So she says that, someone, either that person is very tall or that person is very short. But this person, he welcomes me with a hearty hand. So this person welcomes me in a very warm-hearted manner. This person welcomes me wholeheartedly. This person doesn't say no to my friendship. And where does this quaint person takes this little girl? And leads me through his wonderland. So this quaint person takes this girl to the wonderland. And then she says, each book is like a city street. So she says, when I'm reading the book, what happens? It seems to me that I am visiting a place. It seems to me that I'm visiting a city along whose winding way I meet. Winding refers to bending, like this. Okay, so this girl, she says that while I'm reading a book, it seems to me that I am going through various ways of a particular city. I'm passing through a lot of roads in that cities which are bending here and there. And then she says, new friends and old who laugh and sing and take me off to adventuring. So she says that in the books that I read, I also meet some friends who take me to do something exciting, something adventurous. So while I'm reading a book, it seems to me that I am off to an adventure. So, just like this little girl, what happens when we read a book? Of course, we develop good communication skills, we develop good skills in terms of language. But other than that, what is the most interesting part of reading a book? Your imagination develops, your imagination grows, it enhances. So if you ever read a so in your book there are some stories which you really like, you find them very interesting. Why? Because you imagine that, oh, this would be happening in this story, this is what would be happening in the story. So taking the example of this poem, so while we were reading this poem, I'm sure a lot of you were thinking of maybe a fairy tale book that you have read. So develop a habit of reading book. Yes, your English will improve, but along with that, you will also develop good imaginatory skills and you will become very creative. So please enjoy reading your books. All right. Thank you so much. I hope all of you enjoyed reading this poem. Thank you.